Hey everyone, it's Shellshock, and right now I'm going to do some WWE Clash of Champions predictions. This is a SmackDown pay-per-view. Last year it was a Raw pay-per-view, and it was not a good pay-per-view at all. So I don't expect this one to be any better. The build-up for it has been abysmal at best, except for like 2 matches. And even then, like one of those matches, like I'm just not a fan of one of those wrestlers. I know there's some people that have been harsher than even me, but I'll get to them with both of these matches when I get there. Or yeah, this show, like SmackDown, just has been declining since the Superstar shakeup. Ever since Road Dogg joined the team, like it just hasn't really been the same. Sometimes they have some really great episodes, sometimes they have some decent episodes, but lately the episodes just have been boring. Like, nothing eventful happening. And that disappoints me because I love SmackDown. I want to see it succeed. I want to see it grow as, like, a big alternative to Raw. But instead, we're just getting the same things that you get on Raw, but with 2 hours instead of 3. So, what gives? This is how I see it. Anyway, so, let's get started. We got the pre-show match. We got Zack Ryder versus Mojo Rawley in a singles match. Now, Mojo Rawley just turned heel recently after a match against the Bludgeon Brothers. I'll get to them in a minute. So, as the Hype Bros versus the Bludgeon Brothers a couple of SmackDowns ago, it was their debut match against the Hype Bros. And, of course, the Bludgeon Brothers won that. And as a result, Mojo turns heel on Ryder. And now Mojo wants to be all by himself. So now we got this match. And honestly, I'm not the biggest fan of the fact that... I'm not the biggest fan of Mojo Rawley, but the fact that they decided to just put him on the pre-show in his first match as a heel against Zack Ryder, it just shows that WWE doesn't really care about the match. Or these 2 performers either. They don't really care about Zack Ryder as it is, so why would they care right now? That being said, I do think that Mojo Rawley is going to win this match. So that's how I feel about it. Mojo Rawley wins. He'll find something else to do. End of story. Now, the next match is Breezango, which is Fandango, and Tyler Breeze. You could call them the Fashion Police as well, because that's what they are. I think that's what they should be called, because they made them like Fashion Police gimmicks over like a year ago or so. Like, and now like it's been working for them, except they haven't really been winning a lot of matches. And when they do, it's cool, but otherwise, I like the Fashion Files, but now like they made it boring because it's just the same thing. It's not funny anymore. So they're going to face against the Bludgeon Brothers. Now, the Bludgeon Brothers are 2 of the former Wyatt family members, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Now they're just known as Harper and Rowan. And what do? They just like to destroy things. So this is going to be a squash match. The Bludgeon Brothers are going to win. It's obvious. So Bludgeon Brothers are going to win, move on, do something else, while Breezango they're still just gonna continue doing the whole Fashion Files thing. That's not really going anywhere at the moment. That's what I'm seeing happening, and both teams are gonna move on. So next match is, in my opinion, I think they're gonna go with the Intercontinental Championship match. I'm sorry, U.S. Championship match next. You got Baron Corbin, who is the current U.S. champion, versus Bobby Roode. Glorious. I really like that song, by the way, a lot. And Dolph Ziggler. I'm here to show the world. I'm here to show the world. I like the song. I like Dolph Ziggler. I don't like what they're doing with Dolph Ziggler right now. And Dolph Ziggler just doesn't seem to care either. Now, I don't know why they put Dolph Ziggler there, but the only explanation I could probably think of is that maybe he's going to take the pin. I'm thinking that Bobby Roode is going to win, but Baron Corbin he'll try to come in and stop Bobby Roode from getting the belt, but it'll be too late. When it comes to trying to get back in the ring, Dolph Ziggler will eat the pin. I'm thinking that Dolph Ziggler is going to leave soon. If you're unhappy with being in the WWE, you might as well leave. Because they're not going to do anything with you. They don't really care about pushing you. You actually had a chance one time, and because of your concussion, I'm not saying it's your fault, but because of your concussion, WWE decided not to push you. For a while, they just made you a jobber. And then, by the time that we all thought that you were going to get a lot of momentum in Survivor Series 2014, WWE didn't capitalize it. So at this point, I think it's best you leave. They're not going to do anything for you, and it doesn't seem this is going to change, so just leave. Do your shows on, like, I think it's CNN or MSNBC, I'm not sure which one. Or, like, go to Japan, go to New Japan, go to Ring of Honor. Do one of those two things. Or continue doing your comedy. Either way, if you don't want to be in WWE anymore, leave. That's just my opinion. But as far as Bobby Roode and Baron Corbin go, I think they'll have another match, probably at the Royal Rumble. And they'll just continue on with their feud. That's what I'm thinking. Though I do think that Bobby Roode should have been a heel. Like, I think he should be a heel, like a babyface Bobby Roode. I mean, Bobby Roode's still great. He can make the babyface work. He just works better as a heel. That's how I feel. All right. Next up would be the Tag Team Championship match, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. You got the champions, the Usos, versus the New Day, versus Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable, versus Rusev and Aiden English. It's Rusev Day. Rusev Day has been great. At first, I wasn't sure about it, but the more I've watched SmackDown, like, that's one of the best parts of SmackDown right now. Mostly because it's Aiden English singing as Rusev is just wanting to focus everything on himself, and he's actually getting over with this. I'm actually really hyped up for it. Like, I like Rusev Day. That being said, the Usos and the New Day have been killing it lately. Two of the best tag teams on the main roster right now. And I felt that all their matches that they had together this year, the following match after that would keep getting better and better. And, like, they have been at their best. Battleground was a terrible pay-per-view, but the only really good match that's worth even wanting to watch that stupid pay-per-view is the Usos versus the New Day. Now, I've heard that WWE wants to make the New Day like the next Dudleys, Edge and Christian, all that. But the Usos, however, they've been holding their own very well. They became a lot better as heels and also as performers once they turned heel. Like, they stepped it up. Now, when it comes to the Land of Opportunity, they seized it. And they seized it very well. Now, I liked American Alpha. I was a huge fan of theirs. I was actually hoping they would be the definitive tag team on SmackDown. It didn't seem to work out. But then all of a sudden, they decided to bring Jason Jordan over and make him Kurt Angle's son, which at first I was interested in the idea, but now it's just cringeworthy. I really think they should have just made a storyline where Jason Jordan lied about being Kurt Angle's son, but that's another topic for another day. Anywho, Usos are going to retain. They're not going to drop the belts to anyone at the moment. If they're going to drop the belts to anyone, it's going to be the New Day. But they're not going to drop it here. The Usos are going to hold on to it for a little while longer. I do think that we'll probably get a tag team coming up from NXT. Possibly the Authors of Pain. But that remains to be seen. Alright, next up is the Women's Championship match. You got Charlotte Flair versus Natalya in a lumberjill match for the WWE SmackDown Women's Championship. the women's division on both Raw and SmackDown have been interesting as of late. You got Absolution on Raw, which has Paige, who returned after over a year of absence, and she brought Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. And then, like, as far as SmackDown goes, you have the Riot Squad, which is Ruby Riot's team. And the thing is that I feel that they're like a clone, like they're two clones. You have Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. I feel like Sarah Logan is a knockoff of Sonya Deville and Liv Morgan is a knockoff of Mandy Rose. Now, I feel like Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan are both very talented. Sarah Logan is okay. I feel like she's still green and she still needs to develop as a character, like performer as well. So I feel like she should have just stayed at NXT and just continued to hone her skills for a little while longer. Whereas like the other team, like Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they've been definitely doing well. Like Sarah Logan really needs work. Anywho, so back to the match. Charlotte's gonna win, hands down. Charlotte's gonna retain. They're not gonna give the belt back to Natalya. I think after Charlotte wins, she's gonna face against Ruby Riott and the Riot Squad. Like, I feel that Riot Squad is just kind of lazy, in my opinion. Like, I'm not taking the talent away from them. I just feel like the booking is lazy, that it's not in any correlation with Paige's Absolution team. But, whatever. We'll see where this goes. 2 more matches. Now, the next match that I'm thinking that's going to be after that will be AJ Styles, who is the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, or just WWE Champion, versus the modern-day Maharaja Jinder Mahal. AJ is going to win this. Why? Well, the Singh brothers have been helping Jinder Mahal these past couple of months. And once Jinder Mahal lost the WWE Championship, he pretty much abandoned the both of them. But it looks like they still want to be a part of him. But he kind of doesn't want that. So this past Tuesday on SmackDown, they wanted to be in AJ's corner, and they wanted to help him. AJ didn't trust them, and he ended up beating the both of them up. But not before he showed out the pictures of the recent WWE live events where you had Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers together, as if they were still cool. So, yeah. It wasn't going to work. So, Jinder's not going to win. The Jinder experiment was a flop. They tried. They tried really hard to make it work, and it didn't. Because he was a jobber for most of his career, even more so when he was in 3MB, and then last year when he returned to Raw, he was a jobber. But his claim to fame was that he was like the part of the final 2 of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I think in hindsight, they should have went with him to win. That would have at least made things interesting. And instead of the WWE Championship, I would have had him go for the US Championship. Because then, like, the whole, like, the Americans versus the Indian, like, anti-American thing, whatever. He could have made it work there, but not like this. Or not like the way they did it. He didn't have the charisma for it. He just didn't seem to work. He's not a bad performer. It's just not main event material, in my opinion. They tried, didn't work. AJ's going to win, retain the belt, and we'll see what happens with that. And now for the last match. We have Shinsuke Nakamura and Randy Orton teaming up to face against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn turned heel at Hell in a Cell, saving Kevin Owens from a fall that Shane made. Like, I think it was an elbow drop from the Hell in a Cell itself to the announce table. Yeah, that's what happened. So, what happened next is that Shane wanted to fire both of them, but Daniel Bryan stepped in, and instead of firing them, they would try to punish them. For weeks, they would try to punish them, but Shane wanted the both of them fired. And then Survivor Series happened, and they were both given, quote-unquote, opportunities to try to be on Team SmackDown, where Sami Zayn fought, I believe he fought Shinsuke Nakamura. Yeah, she fought Shinsuke Nakamura, and Kevin Owens fought Randy Orton. Then both of them lost, and then on the match itself at Survivor Series, they both interfered and attacked Shane, but not before, like, leaving the arena. Then what happened next is that SmackDown lost. Shane was the last one against Triple H, Kurt Angle. No, Kurt Angle was eliminated because Triple H screwed him over, and Braun Strowman. And then they had so many other opportunities to try to punish both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and it didn't work. So Shane decides to take it upon himself to be the special guest referee for the match. That was last week that he did that. And this week, Daniel Bryan decided to make himself the special guest referee too. So we would have two special guest referees, Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan. The speculation is that Daniel Bryan is going to turn heel on Shane McMahon, but I'm also hearing rumors that Shane McMahon is going to turn heel on Daniel Bryan. I mean, the way to make the Shane heel turn work is that, I mean, either way, Shane is going too far in trying to punish both Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So for this reason alone, I do think that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to win this match. And I'm going to speculate that Daniel Bryan is the one that's going to turn heel. And we'll get an explanation on Tuesday as to why he did what he did. Now, there have been rumors that Daniel Bryan is going to want his contract to expire sometime in the fall, like September of 2018. And that he's going to leave and go to New Japan or Ring of Honor where he can wrestle again. At the same time, he's also trying to get cleared so that he can have some more matches in WWE. But I don't think WWE is going to give him more matches. And if you want my honest opinion, I've been a huge Daniel Bryan fan for a couple of years now, for a long time. And he has put on a lot of fantastic matches. But given his condition, even though other doctors cleared him, I think it's best he decided to just not wrestle, not think about wrestling, and just focus on his family. Because he has a daughter, and he has a wife, Brie Bella. I think it's best he just focus on his family right now. Maybe make some one-off appearances every now and then, but I think he should start focusing on his family life. That's my opinion. If you guys disagree or agree with that, then feel free to comment down below. Feel free to comment on who do you think are going to win these matches on Sunday. And I would like to read them because it's fun to see what people think about the shows. WWE has been predictable, stale for a long time now. Since even during the Ruthless Aggression, even during the Attitude Era. Like, I'd say, like, probably like the last year and a half. Like 1999 was not a good year for WWE, and whether people want to sugarcoat it or not, like, it hasn't been a good year that year. But 2000 was great. But 2001 was kind of started off great and ended up falling off. Ever since like WWE bought WCW, the WrestleMania 17 was one of the best WrestleManias ever. But honestly, like, they've just been on a slump because there's no competition or or there is competition, but not big enough to try to be a threat to WWE, and that sucks. Because that means that WWE just doesn't need to try to be good, try to have a good product. But that's going to be a video that I plan to do real soon. So those are my predictions and the preview of WWE Clash of Champions. I'm not expecting this to be any good, but I would like to be proven wrong, but at the same time, it's really hard to be optimistic when you know what WWE is capable of doing. So that's it. This has been Shell Shock, signing out. Take it easy. Have a good day.